Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back into the Bears Den. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're going to be talking about the Bears' 16-21 loss to the Colts in Week 3. Let's get into it. All right, hey guys, how we doing today? So, video's a little bit late today, celebrating my mom's birthday, but I want to get on here and discuss the Week 3 loss to the Colts and kind of where I'm at, because if you are on Chicago Bears Twitter, if you follow a lot of people, you would see that the discussion seems like the season is over, the season is burning down, the season is ruined, and for some aspects of the game yesterday, I can understand why it feels that way. There's definitely times during the game yesterday where I felt like, oh my gosh, like, we got to fire some certain people and so on and so forth. But now that it's been a day since the game has happened and kind of all the emotions have passed, like I've discussed before, I don't take these losses well at all. I'm extremely passionate about this team, and not being able to celebrate a victory Monday really bothers me. But with that being said, there's a lot of positives that came from yesterday. I mean, yesterday was, the offense's best day so far. And what I really want to start off with is saying that it's once again a one score loss, right? And yes, the Colts might be viewed as more of a weaker team, right, by many. But it's a one score loss. And last week's loss was a one score loss. So despite all of the offensive struggles and how terrible the offenses looked at certain times, the Bears are in these games. So at least for the first part, look at it that way, right? Like once the offense really clicks, these losses are going to turn into wins, right? We have, some easier opponents coming up, right? We have, perhaps a tough game this week against the Rams, but that's at home. And then we have Carolina after that, which, they looked pretty good with Andy Dalton yesterday, but how are they going to look? And then after that, we go to London and we play Jacksonville, and that's a very winnable game. But really, there's two ways that we look at this season for the Bears. Of course, as a fan, I want them to win it all. I want them to win a Super Bowl. I want them to go to playoffs. I always enjoy when they're in the playoffs because it means more football, more games to watch, right? And, they have a chance to compete for the Lombardi Trophy. But there's the season where I think that it's the season that we're having right now where they're in close games, they're competing till the very end, but they're improving. They're developing. Caleb Williams is developing. Think about it last year. Let's take a trip back a year ago to the 2023 season. We got blown out week 1 at home against Green Bay. We lost a close one on the road to Tampa Bay. And then we lost 41-3 against Kansas City. Think about where we were a year ago, how we felt after the week 3 loss last year with our year 3 quarterback, right, getting destroyed by that. And yes, it's the Super Bowl champs, I get it. But still, like the team had no fight. They looked atrocious. The Bears are in these games until the very end, right? Like if the defense, and I don't want to pin this loss on the defense at all, and I'm not going to, but if they're able to stop the Colts there late in the fourth, the offense gets a chance to go win the game. If we don't jump off sides on the punt, we maybe win the game because they don't score, we get the ball back, right? If we can score on one of those fourth and goal tries, we maybe win the game. If the Hail Mary is caught 1 yard further and it's in the end zone, we maybe win the game, right? So we're this close, despite all the struggles, all the miscues, we're this close to winning these games. And it's week 3 with a rookie quarterback, a rookie wide receiver, new pieces on the offensive line, an entire new offense. We're close. But what's happening here, I think, is really, really important. And I see a lot of people ripping on Caleb Williams, right? And I understand it from the aspect that the media built this kid up all offseason. He's the savior. He's the generational talent. He's going to light it up right away. And me, who has watched him, at least since he was at Oklahoma, thought that he was going to be able to come in and light it up right away. And that was part of me buying into the media and what they say and, how they can kind of manipulate viewers and stuff. But in reality, he's a rookie and it takes time. and there's a game speed adjustment, and he has to learn the offense, and he has to get timing with the receivers. And so I want to pull up these stats here because this to me is really, really important. Week 1 versus the Titans, 48% completion percentage, 93 passing yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 55 rating, 56 rating. Week 2 on the road against the Colts, against the Texans, first road start, 62% completion percentage. So that's improved by 14%. He doubles his passing yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 51. Okay, that's kind of like your welcome to the league moment. You're improving the passing a little bit, but here's your welcome to the league moment. You can't make this throw. We're going to pick it off, right? And the one that the jump ball to DJ Moore, maybe slightly underthrown, but, whatever. Week 3, on the road against the Colts, second road start, 63.5% completion percentage. So another increase, 363 yards. So he once again doubled his yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 80.8 rating. He's improving in every single stat, week by week. And it's more than just the stats. If you watch the game, and what I see online is it seems like there's a lot of people that are ripping him that probably don't watch the games. If you watch the game, we're seeing some of the best quarterback play in years in the Bears, and I promise you. Go back, watch the way he operates. Watch the pre-snap decisions, the calling out the defense, the sliding the protection, the changing the plays if he needs. Watch the quick reads, right? Every once in a while, there's a play where he gets sacked, where maybe, guys aren't open and he's holding the ball too long. But every quarterback does that. That happens. But watch how quick he progresses with the reads, the decision making. And the deep throws were starting to hit. Yes, he missed 2, I think, yesterday, but he also hit 2. He hit 3, I guess, if you want to count the Hail Mary. And accuracy is something that will come as he gets more work with the receivers, as the game slows down, as he's not thinking so much. The accuracy will come back. That's something that you don't just lose. That's something that, will improve, and that will come back to him. But what I wanted to see was improvement. And yesterday, there was improvement in operating the offense. He wore a wristband, there were no false starts, and there were no delay games, compared to the week before where there was many. So yes, they lost. And I know there's a lot of people that only care about wins. But think about it in the big picture. What's happening is exactly what we want to happen with this kid. He's developing, he's improving, he's seeing different looks, he's seeing the field. And he only had one mistake yesterday that was on him. And that was where he was late on the out route and it got picked. But guess what? That's not a pick where, I'm trying to throw a slant over the middle and there's a linebacker standing right in front of me and I don't see him and I throw it right to him. Like, look at the Anthony Richardson pick that he threw yesterday in the red zone, where he threw it to 3 white jerseys. Like, none of his turnovers this year, Caleb's, have been like that. That's something that's concerning. If you're trying to force it into something where you have no chance at all. Because then it's like, oh man, is the decision making off? Being late on an out route, that's something that's correctable. We go through the progressions. I'm late, I'm done. I'm not looking at that anymore. I'm not looking at that route anymore. That won't happen again with this kid. The second pick that he threw, it hit Rome Odunze in the chest. The defender just had an arm in between Rome's hands, and the ball popped out, and it unfortunately bounced to another guy. But the ball hit Rome in the chest. And Caleb said in the post-game interview, yeah, I gave Rome a chance because the defender had his back turned towards me. What rookie quarterbacks are doing that besides Caleb Williams? We've got the best rookie quarterback. We've got one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I promise you guys that. This isn't some bias. And I get it. We want to win games. But he's developing. and he's playing at an elite level. And the fumble, it's not his fault. Once again, Shane Waldron is asking Cole Kmet to block Latu Latu one-on-one on Caleb's blind side. And Caleb felt the pressure. He was stepping up. He just happened to get hit from his blind side. That's not on him. That's on our offensive coordinator and our offensive staff for the second week in a row asking Cole Kmet to block an elite pass rusher. It happened week 2 against Houston. Bring Kmet over in motion. We're going to have him try and block Will Anderson one-on-one. No, that's not how it works. We're not going to do that. Not anymore. Because we're going to get Caleb hurt, and we're going to have more turnovers. But this kid is playing at an elite level already. I promise you. Go watch the games. Let go of the fact that we lost yesterday. Yes, I get it. Yes, that's the purpose of playing the game, is to win. But look at the pocket presence. Look at the quick decision making. Look at the accuracy of the throws. Look at the ability to just come back and continue throwing the ball regularly after adversity hits, after he fumbles the ball, after, he throws a pick where it gets tipped to another guy, after he makes a mistake himself and is late on an out route and gets picked. We're not looking at a rookie quarterback that makes a mistake and then his game is ruined for the rest of the day. He goes out and he plays. It's that next play mentality. And once again, we were in it until the very end. The offense as a whole has some things to clean up. I think Shane Waldron needs to reevaluate some of the personnel usage. But I also think yesterday that the offensive line looked better. I thought that I've been banging the table for this for months since last season, that Nate Davis should no longer be the starter. For the lack of practicing, for the lack of effort on the field, for the constant confusion. And Matt Pryor came in, and I thought he did a pretty solid job. There was one play where, I don't remember if Caleb was sacked, but he was at least pressured, where Pryor gave it up. But that's going to happen. You can't expect an O-line to block perfectly on every single play. But I thought the protection was much better. He had more time. And that's what it is. And I see a lot of people online saying, oh, yeah, well, Caleb only threw for 363 yards because he threw 52 times. Is he the first quarterback ever to throw for 52 times? Like, who cares? That was their game plan. They tried to run the ball yesterday. And I appreciate that Shane Waldron was getting Khalil Herbert and especially Roshan Johnson involved. And shocker, good things happen when they get the ball. But once again, the run game wasn't really there. So yeah, he had to throw. But what's wrong with him getting reps? Getting practice? I want him to get reps now. I want him to make mistakes now so that they're fixed when week 11 rolls around and we're playing Green Bay. So that he's seeing these different looks, so that he's not going to make a mistake, a silly, rookie mistake when it really counts against our divisional opponents. And the Bears are 1-2, but these 2 losses are to AFC South teams. So this is like, if you're going to lose close games, this is like the perfect time to do it. Because it's not going to impact the record and the playoff chances as much as if we were losing to NFC teams, or especially NFC North teams. I want this team to make the playoffs more than anyone. I want them to win it all more than anyone. I've been waiting my entire life. I'm 24 years old. I've seen them go to the Super Bowl one time. But for once, I want them to develop a quarterback correctly, and it seems like they're maybe finally doing that. I think certain adjustments can be made to the game plan, but he's improving in multiple different areas week by week by week. They're building the foundation. And to me, easily, he's the best quarterback in the class so far, right? Obviously, we haven't seen JJ and Penix play, but he's improving. He's the only one with a touchdown pass, right? That was the whole media's thing this past week. Oh, dude, the quarterbacks don't have a touchdown pass yet. Okay, well, he got the monkey off his back yesterday. He threw 2. He threw the first one to Rome Odunze. It was a dot. They got the ball again and went right down the field again. So maybe, just maybe, that was unlocking everything, right? You get the first one done. Now maybe here we go, right? And yesterday as well was a massive game for Rome Odunze. He looked like what we all envisioned when we drafted him. We found ways to get him the ball, and he made plays. Caleb hits him deep down the left sideline. He makes plays, showing his ability to use the late hands to make a fantastic catch. He gets open on the touchdown. He breaks tackles. We're starting to get these guys involved, and that's what happens when they're new to the NFL and when they're new to an offense. It takes time. It takes time, and I think that this offense has been missing Keenan Allen, and hopefully we'll get him back this week as well. And now it's like, if we get him back, here we go. Here we go, right? We got an injured Rams team coming into town. Who knows, right? But take it a week at a time, keep improving, keep practicing. That's all I want. Because yes, maybe some of us had some Super Bowl aspirations this year, and I've made jokes and said things like, oh yeah, they can win it this year. But in all reality, I'd rather have them develop Caleb and lose close games, and he gets to face situations, like 2-minute situations where he gets to go have chances to win games and things like that, to learn now, so that later down the road, we're actually ready to go. And yesterday he threw for the most yards a Bears quarterback has thrown for since 2016, since Brian Hoyer. Yesterday was the best passing yard day for a quarterback in 8 seasons. And yet people are writing him off and done with him after 3 games. And yet they're cheering for a quarterback that's no longer on our team, who's in year 4. That's what really bothers me the most. I want Justin Fields to succeed. I want him to play well. I'm a fan of Justin Fields. I was so happy when we drafted Justin Fields. But he's not here anymore. It didn't work out. And he has elite talent. And I hope that it works in Pittsburgh for him. I want to see him succeed. And it also benefits us if he succeeds, because we get a 4th-round pick instead of a 6th-round pick. But with that being said, he's gone. And I'm so tired of these Bears fans that are comparing a year 4 quarterback to a game 3 quarterback. And if you're a Bears fan that's doing that, just know that game 3 quarterback threw for more yards than game 4 quarterback ever has. And that's all for today's episode. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with me in the den. Really helps me out. Follow me on Twitter, Shy Sports Alex. Always tweeting about the Bears, tweet during the game. And yeah, we're live on Sundays now, 20 to 40 minutes after the Bears game. We'll go live for a bit. We were live this past weekend. You can go check it out. It's on the channel if you missed it. And as always, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bear down and have a good one. Peace.